sorry. I'm getting a call on Discord. I don't even know who this is. Sorry.
It's not us.
That was terrible timing. But hello, everybody. Welcome to the Are You Prepared for LAN stream? I got two awesome folks with me tonight. We got Darkestnyte and VIRU5 in the house. How are you fellas doing? Let's start with you, VIRU5.
Doing good. Doing pretty good. Hyped for to get some LAN talk in.
Also, I gotta ask, who's that cute furball behind you?
Oh, that's Liberty.
Liberty. Let's go, Liberty. Darkestnyte, how about you, man?
He's on the grid. Yeah.
He's Liberty off the grid. Darkestnyte, how's it going for you, man?
Going good, man. Hey, I'm getting ready for land in 2024. Let's go.
Sweet. So this is going to be more of a workshop. We're coming together from different places, different quantities of land, different focuses on, the different types of resources potentially. And we just want to talk about land and start to get really hyped for it because we're all expecting it by the end of the month. We're all going to hold Weird Beard to his word that we get this in the month of August. And if you think about it, guys, it's August 3rd, which means we're like less than 28 days away, less than 4 weeks away from land going live, which is super exciting. So before we jump in, and I can jump in first just because I have the least amount of plots, and I honestly am not even remotely as organized as either of you. So for context, everybody, we were planning this out, and then like right before the stream started, both Darkestnyte and VIRU5 sent me like these really complex spreadsheets, and I was like, oh dude, I'm just gonna go off like Peak Monsters.
Well, we're gonna use that too, right?
So they're very well prepared, and I think this is going to be very educational for me because I only have 3 plots now, but I don't want it to always be the case. I'd love to like build up in the future, and so we'll see how that goes. But before we jump in, just overall high level thoughts. I'm going to throw it to you, VIRU5, first. Like, what are your expectations with land? I'm just keeping it open ended, but like, what are you excited about? What are you preparing for, or just general expectations over the next couple of weeks?
I think hopefully we'll get some clarification on a few things. Everything gets clear before we're ready to go, but I don't think many people are ready for what it is.
Seems like it.
I think a lot of people have the idea, just I'm going to take all my best monsters and just throw them in.
Yep.
And when you end up with a bill for your grain when it's due, or everyone's going to have to pay the piper and try to like, oh, how do I get my land to work for grain?
Well, they're going to have to go and buy it from the store for 1 grain per DEC, or hopefully for all of us folks who are organized and ready, we're going to sell it for a premium at that 0.999, just under the store level. But Darkestnyte, how about you, man? What are you feeling over the next couple of weeks? Where's your focus at?
So my focus is really trying to identify which lands I actually want to activate, right? Mm-hmm. What my focus is going to be, right? So we have, do I want to get some research? Do I have the right type of land? What's my productivity going to look like? But really my focus is going to be to get max productivity on each plot of land that I activate. So I think I'm getting calls too. So do I go stop it or just let it go? I'm gonna let it go.
It's just let it go. It's fine.
Yeah. So really the goal that I have for tonight is to really just understand which lands I want to, like, we all hear Halo, right? Like, is that Halo? Yes, that is my ringtone.
From Beyonce?
No.
Oh, I can barely hear it. It just sounds like
the video game Halo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's legit.
So,
it just sounds like squeaking in the back.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought you guys could actually hear it. So really just activating specific types of land. I have a couple of different resources, artifacts, or really totems. I have a Rooney. Where am I going to put that? But the goal is, I believe the max is 100,000 productivity per land. Am I still accurate on that?
I mean, it depends. Yeah, it depends. I mean, of course, if I could get 100,000 on everything, that'd be pretty awesome.
Yep.
But base is the maximum amount. So, you're talking about just the maximum amount.
Yeah, just the max amount of PP, right? So originally I thought it was uncapped, and so I was really stressed out about how, what creatures I need to put on it. But I think that I can be a little bit more realistic now, since I have a bunch of cards and monsters that I never use, right? So
sure.
So now I can put those guys to use and then still continue to be competitive in brawls, tournaments, and just ranked battles.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, all right, the lunacy system, did I say October? I meant August. But
Well, I said 2024, so
hopefully you land 2.0 in 2024.
we'll see.
Okay, so just a quick round the horn before jumping in to give everybody the full context. So I have 3 plots, 2 commons, and then I got lucky with the keep. Virus, if I remember, are you at 10 plots? Did you buy or sell any from when we surveyed?
Yeah, I bought 2 more.
Okay.
Gank, I know Gank was doing his. He was picking up plots from other people and then selling plots within his region to them. Like, so he's kind of doing trades, and then he was selling off plots in those regions where he got them from. So I picked up a couple from him.
Oh, nice.
Gotcha. Okay, awesome. So, and I know you have do you have any occupied?
I have from the survey. I got 2 occupied, 2 magical, and 2 common or 2 regular rare.
I remember you got a nice spread. So
Yeah.
it'll be good for people to hear how you are planning to tackle each of those, because occupied is good for SPS. It's occupied is good for SPS, and I think magical is good for Secret of Pretoria.
Research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Darkestnyte, you're sitting at about 20 plots.
So 20,
13 of which are together. Other 7 are kind of just randomly assorted and the forgotten children.
Yep.
But we'll see how you plan on putting that all together.
Yeah.
So I'll start, and I gave Darkestnyte a heads up before this as well. I may have to hop off to just take a quick phone call, but I'll start and be quick, just in case it happens. But here's the main plan. Obviously, I only have a couple of plots. Not the castle, but the keep is the most important one, and I want to maximize my production points on that just to get the most possible, right? So let me share my screen real quick, and this is from the white paper. It looks like the numbers have been adjusted to be much more favorable. They're much lower.
Yeah, for sure.
And so you can see there's marginal, you get marginal returns or diminishing returns after you get to 50,000 production points. And so as it stands, I have 4 unused gold foil legendaries, all single VCX, that currently are sitting in a rental account when I used to run them with Splex, and actually they've just been sitting there, not even renting. But I'm going to bring those over because those 4 at 12.5 each, they're all Chaos Legion sets, legendaries. That should get me to 50,000 production points base, and then I'm going to put one of the extra Rooney that I have on there as well. That should get me to 100,000, and then maybe I'll get a totem or whatever, just to maximize the keep itself and get as many taxes as possible.
Yeah.
The other 2 plots that I have, I think it's a jungle and a forest. They're both common, nothing special about them. And so I was talking about this with Darkestnyte just before we went live. And really, I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but I'm hoping to get a better idea of where I stand from a tax perspective with the keep once land goes live, meaning that if the taxes for grain, for example, come in and they're able to sustain the keep plus the other 2 plots, then I can go in and use those plots for Secret of Pretoria or SPS, wherever the opportunity is. But if not, because there's going to be so much production on my keep, if I need extra grain, then I'm going to use those 2 other plots for grain. So that's kind of where things are at for me right now.
So it looks like something has changed because, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but it says keeps have a ×3 modifier, increased chances of finding totem fragments. Is that new?
It's got to be new. Yeah.
Because I don't remember that at all.
These are 3x chances of finding.
So if you can hit totem fragments, what do we have to do to get totems?
I think you just got to work the land. Well,
working, right?
Yeah. So I think because they changed a lot of things around. It looked like they nerfed Rooney, but then boosted castles and keeps a little bit.
That's what they must have done, was they took that away from the Rooney and just added it to the castle. Keep.
Yeah.
So it's based on production points for that. So that's good. I mean, I think that's a good thing, right? So a castle has 10 times. Wow. That's definitely a change. And then 3 times change.
Castles and keeps were boosted a little bit, or at least made easier for it overall.
Now, where are you wanting to be on that chart that you were showing? So, I mean, that's a lot of PP for one building there.
Where was it? Castles and keeps. There we go. This line right here, I figure 50,000 production points after a certain point. This is maybe 80% of the taxes you can capture, right? 16 out of the 20% total. So if I'm there, I'm happy. If I can go higher, like I said, I think if it makes sense, then I will.
Yeah,
But at a certain, sorry, what's that?
What you were describing before with 4, was it gold foil legendaries or just legendaries?
4 gold foil legendaries.
Yeah, that's gonna put you in like the 120,000 range.
Yeah, and I think, and again, looking at the dot that's there, I'm thinking 75 is where it starts to level off, not 50.
Sure. I mean, I'm just saying arbitrarily, like,
Yeah.
I want to be at least at 50,000 just to be at whatever, like capturing 80% of the total taxes that are available to me. After that, it's like, I'm going to have to like double it to go from 16 to 18. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I figure, let me see how it is, because once we're able to play with the numbers a little bit, it's like, all right, let me throw all 4 gold foil legendaries on there. And again, they're just single BCX, and there'll still be like a 5th spot plus Rooney, right? Rooney will be able to double that. So if I see that, like, okay, actually maybe taking one of the gold foil legendaries off doesn't reduce my taxes by that much, but it could increase my production on another plot, I may end up doing that. But at the beginning, it's just maximizing that.
Let's bring up the calculator. I'd love to see that plugged into the calculator, just to see what that's actually going to look like.
Yeah, and not just the fall off in the taxes that you'll get. It's the difference in your food cost versus the taxes you'll get in the grain cost or whatever.
Sorry, what do you mean by that with the grain cost?
So on this curve, if you're getting less returns from your taxes by having more PP on there, you're still paying that much for the grain though. You're still paying a set amount, like an exponential amount for the grain, but the curve for the taxes is leveling off.
True.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Virus, I have not taken any of the grain considerations into account at all, like zero, right? So, and I think I should. Like, again, I saw your spreadsheet, right? And I'm like how important is grain going to be, right? For the overall productivity of your land.
Yeah, I mean, if you have like a 50 cent an hour bill that you're paying worth of DEC, converted over to grain, then it's going to be annoying to have to pay that per day. You're paying $12 a day for your
it's true.
plots.
Okay, I want to dig definitely, again, when I say I haven't even considered that, I want to dig into that pretty deep, because that sounds like it's going to be a problem. Yeah. Like for real.
I can't get the calculator up here, but what did you want to calculate? I can just do it on
the phone. All right, so I think I have it here. So hold on.
Oh, okay.
Yes, let me pull it up. I'll pull it up. All right, so give me 1 second. I'm going to share. Present.
I'll take mine down.
Let me know if you guys can see. All right. So, all right. So here's the interesting thing, right? Keeps are not, I mean, what are they considered? Are they considered common?
It just put common because they're not.
Yeah.
They don't get any additional bonuses.
Yeah.
They're technically mythical, but they don't get anything.
Right. So none. And then terrain for you. What is yours?
Forest.
So forest. Right. Okay, so there we go. So we get no boost, right? So that's what we just said. Are you going to put a totem on it?
I have to get one, but most likely a common.
Okay, so common. And then
Rooney. I didn't realize you meant this calculator. Sorry.
Yeah. So Rooney so you're going to put regular Rooney. Like, do you have a gold Rooney yet?
What do you mean yet? do you have a gold Rooney?
No, I won't. But okay. So then, all right. So here's your workers, right? So I'm assuming all of your workers are going to be chaos, right?
Yeah, and you can just do chaos, gold, or legendary gold, and they're all 1 BCX. So you can just change those.
So legendary, boom, boom.
And then I don't know what I'll put for the final one. Actually, I may put a gold foil epic, so you can throw that on there.
Epic, okay.
Yeah, just make those all gold.
Gold. And it's a gold epic?
Yeah, gold epic. Because that's actually going to be probably the one of my soulbound cards that I'll unlock.
Okay, and then for you, so fire, so forest is what?
Yeah, it's okay. So 2 of them are going to be water.
Okay, so it's
which is neutral, which is no benefit or
water
disadvantage. Okay. 1 will be life, which is a benefit.
Okay, so life, yep.
1 will be dragon, and then the epic will be water.
Okay, so dragon gets a minus.
Yeah, but just throw it on there because it's still.
And what's the last one?
And then just put water.
And then water.
I mean, again, maybe I use the dragon on the a different plot if it makes sense.
That's interesting, right? So your boosted PP is going to be, I mean, fully is going to be 23,000.
Wait, why is it so low?
That's what I'm saying, right? So you got a Rooney, you're getting a 100% boost for that.
Oh, you have one
Oh,
BCX.
you're gonna put a title on it?
You have one BCX. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, I'll throw a title on there. Oh, one BCX. Wait.
You-
Oh my gosh, was I thinking CP? I might have been thinking CP, not PP.
Okay, so there we go. All right, so you're gonna put you have a title which is the Gambler, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah. So we'll throw that on
So
there.
that's gonna go on. So that
Oh damn! So I'm not prepared. Oh, the epic gold I think will be 4 BCX.
Okay, so let's put 4. Okay, so now you're up to 30,000.
Oh damn! All right, so never mind. I'm not prepared for this at all. I thought I was.
What do you want it to be? Do you want it to be basically what, 75?
I wanted to be at least 50, but
All right, so let's double. Just put 2. Oops.
I mean 21's fine.
And 2. That's 51. There you go.
All right, so I need 4 more gold foil legendaries. At this point, though, what I need to check is where the value is in terms of getting gold foil legendaries versus gold foil epics, because there's a lot
All
of
right,
those available
let's
too.
change it. All right, so let's change. So epic, but then let's double, right? So change it to 4 BCX, or do you want to
Yeah,
max
but
it up?
that's gonna 4 BCX is just gonna put it at 2,500.
Yeah.
Well, this is good because you know what, I've had forgotten about the production points.
Yep.
I kept assuming collection power.
So let's do something different, right? So your gold foil legendaries are pretty expensive right now, right? I mean, they're going up. What about regular? Right? So let's swap them from gold to regular.
Well, the thing is, like, a regular max level legendary
Yep.
is 1,500 as
Yeah,
a
look at
base production points, whereas 1 BCX of gold is 2,500.
Yeah, let's see. Hold on, let's just take
So
a
gold
look.
just has way more value.
It does. Yeah, I mean, that's not even close.
So if anything, here's the difference, right? A 1 BCX gold foil epic is 600 production points versus a legendary, which is 2,500. So again, rough numbers, it's about 1/4 the value. And if I look at gold foil epics right now, I see a bunch going for $10, whereas the cheapest gold foil legendaries are going for about 60. So it's a 6x in price. So gold foil epics, at least if you're just looking between epics and legendaries, epics would be where I would go.
So let's do this. Let's do 4, 4, 4, gold, 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 gold. Huh. But still,
It's only 29.
30,000. Yeah, so just roughly 30.
Yeah.
This is going to be interesting.
Well, it just shows how underprepared I am.
Huh. All
So I
right.
need to get on that.
So what's your other land? What other land do you have?
The other lands are just, it's a common forest and a common jungle. And again, like I said, I'm not right now, from what I'm seeing here, I'm going to have to put a lot in on this one.
So let's change something, right? So there's another option here, right? So your water is no bonus. What if we change that to earth? Earth, life, and life.
If we go on everything there.
Yeah, so putting the right type of creature
That 10%.
on the right land, that's significant right there, right?
Mm-hmm. Let me see.
Because I would say on your keep, I mean, you want that to be as high as possible within the target range, right?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, my goal is to hit 50,000 production points. Again, it's so arbitrary, but that's just kind of where my head is at. The thing is, I don't even need to hit 50,000 because if you don't mind, I'm going to take the screen back.
Yeah, absolutely.
But again, it doesn't need to be perfect from day one. And so, like, where does it start to level off? in your opinion? Like I would say like here is kind of where it starts to level off, right? And that's less than 50,000. So if that's what I can use as a starting point and then go back through and reinvest profits for whatever I get into buying another BCX of a gold foil legendary or gold foil epic, that's probably what I'll end up doing.
Yeah.
Or unstaking one of your or opening up one of your soulbound cards to put in there too if you have an extra one you want to throw in.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
that would help.
Man, and this is just basically doing one card, right? Like one plot of land has created this like a situation, right? Because you're a player, right? You're playing with those cards, so you would have to sacrifice playing, and maybe you take your cards that you own, pop it on your land, and now you start renting, right, to make up for that gap in your deck.
Well, I realized that I have a lot of those extra cards after I turned off Splex that are just kind of sitting around. So at this point, I need to find ways to get them to be useful again. And what's good is with the rental market picking up a little bit from SPS staking and modern human only format, it seems to be pretty good.
So we've been talking about consolidation of land for a long time now. Is this also an opportunity for a consolidation of cards, like selling cards and then maybe consolidating them into gold or epic cards?
Hopefully. I mean, I do think once land is out, we will see a massive spike in activity, right? Just like we saw with land phase 1. But the good thing is that this time around, you can actually do something. Land phase 1, we saw this massive spike, and then everybody had the expectation where we're going to start to see stuff by June, maybe even earlier, right? Like I was hopeful back in March and April that they would, land 1.5 would be iterative, meaning that between 1.0 and 1.5, we would get like a 1.1 and a 1.2, and we'd be able to start doing things, right?
Yeah.
But that obviously wasn't the case. From what it sounds like where they're at now, they're already planning to do like a 1.6 that's going to include like a DEC rental market and all that. So hopefully from here on out, any kind of changes to land are more iterative, and therefore we won't see this massive spike in activity where people are anticipating something and then everything just falls off.
Yeah. So Virus, are you feeling more ready or less ready now? Just based on that?
Oh, I mean, he looked at me and he's just like, dude, this guy has no idea what he's doing. I'm going to dominate land. He's looking at CP, not PP.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty close to ready. I'm for my initial level where I want to be at in the beginning, and then my plan is to unstake to open up the soulbound cards and build up from there. As I can, put some gold foil legendaries. Those gold foil legendaries, the multiplier when you get a Rooney and you get a rare or a totem or anything else, the multiplier is huge.
That is.
So if you can put some of those on your land, it can be a big boost.
Yeah. All right. Let me just catch up on the comments real quick because I know people are here, and then we can jump back into if Virus wants to go next, or sorry, Darkestnyte, if you want to go next.
Yeah, it's all good.
What's up, Druid's Blood? Good to see you. King Arminius. No, you haven't missed much. We're just kind of talking through land. RK3, thank you for being here. So 1 gold legendary is better, max. Yes, 1 gold for legendary max PP, I believe, is 2,500 versus a maxed out common regular is like 2,000. What's up, Icy Flow? Having a keep, you might be better off renting max level. Well, you won't be able to use rented cards, but the moment we can, that'd be awesome. The other option for me, Icy Flow, is to get into an informal partnership with other people who have the cards, right? So if people have like gold foil alphas or something and want to contribute and take up a slot or something, then they get a portion of the taxes. And that's just something that I haven't even entered into.
So you can have people stake cards on land even though you have cards already on it. They can take up a slot.
No, it would be something where they would have to be very trusting of me to send me a gold foil alpha to use on land, and then trust me to give them the card back when they want it, as well as pay them, right? So that's why it's like, that's probably going to happen in very, very rare instances where people know each other or trust each other. I don't want to be like going out there and saying like, hey, I'm going to, who wants to do this? Who wants to sign up to give me all the leverage? But if somebody approached me and was serious about it, then I would consider it.
Seeing as I make up 10% of your plots in your area, I might just be doing that just to get my money back from taxes.
That could be it too. And this is kind of what I really love about land. Like Darkestnyte, you and I were talking about this, where it's just, I mean, I obviously want to make sure that my land is solid, but at the same time, for everybody who's in my tract, it's like, hey, what can I do to help you out, right?
Yeah,
Because I get a little bit of a cut for everything. If you boost your production, it all comes back to me anyway. All right, Aaron B says, I'm going to be focusing on grain mostly and a little bit of SPS. I don't think you can rent cars. Yeah, not yet. Okay, awesome. Oh, Vars, you're in the chat too. That confused me for a second. All right. Drew's Blood says, looks like land will be at less than 20% max production, and what is utilized, and that is utilized land. Oof.
which is what we predicted, right? I think when we talked about this last week, we said between 15 and 20%, right? Just given, I mean, and let's just say that's true. How much DEC will be needed just for that? And how many cards will be needed just for that?
I mean, only 1.5 billion, which we can easily cover. This is my fear, that land utilization is not going to be as high. Like my hope is 30 to 40%, which again, these are just arbitrary numbers, but the reason for 30 to 40% is then we crack that kind of like 2 to 3 billion range of DEC that's needed. And I think if we take, there's 4.6 billion DEC now, and if we're required to take, anywhere from 2.5 to 3 billion of that and put it on land, we'll actually feel the scarcity. But only 1.5 billion, I don't know.
Yeah, but if only 1.5 billion is used, then we're going to get all those rewards. Right?
True.
It's now concentrated amongst a very small number of people, and that's going to feel really good if you're one of the people that makes that initial investment, because there's that time factor, right, of clearing land and all that stuff. So even if people come on later, they still have a period of time that they're going to need to not being productive, and we're gaining all those rewards.
And keep in mind, oh, sorry, go ahead, Vars.
I'll say one other thing too, though. You were talking about how you're going to be good with keeping your cards, that you're going to be able to have your cards to play with. You won't be putting them all on land, except for the fact that, did you think about the fact that there's going to be legendary, possibly, or epic plots that are left unworked out there that you can go and surf?
Yeah.
There's going to be occupied magical plots that are out there that you can just go and surf and put your cards on and be getting a huge bonus for that. It probably makes up for what you're losing in the fact that it's surfing and not your plot.
So I have a counter idea to this that I've been thinking about making a video for, where it's just like, is land surfing overrated? And I love what Harper was talking about. I love the idea. But if you were a region holder, answer this honestly. If you were a region holder and you talk with a bunch of other region holders, it only costs 25 DEC and 1 BCX of a common card to tie up your plot, and nobody's allowed to surf it. And then of course, maybe you have to get like a power core 5,000 DEC, but still, I think I did the math and it's like 50 million DEC, which again is significant, but if you don't need the power core, it's building in a box, blah, blah, all that, like, it's not that much. It's 25 DEC and a common card to tie up all your land. So
why would they do that?
Well, because could there be a coordinated effort to suppress the resources that they're only coming in? Because, and again,
but it's the resources that they're taxing.
It's the resources. Well, I know you'd be taxing it too, but then if other people are coming in, it's kind of like that diluting the share all around, isn't it?
Well, I mean, they're getting 50% for the surfing, or possibly, let's say it's a 50-50 split for the surfing plus taxes on top of it. No, I think there's no way they're going to be trying to. There's no way they would
suppress it. Okay, maybe. See, I need to take the tinfoil hat off just for.
But you're thinking cornering the market, right? You're saying,
exactly,
hey, they corner the market, then they can set the price and they can collectively.
Well, it's just they can block access, right? And then all of a sudden, like, they can funnel resources to all of their plots essentially, because it's like, sure, somebody comes in and they're getting 50%, but they're getting specifically SPS, right? And even grain. If they're getting 50 SPS or 50% of the SPS, that means like that's 50% coming out of a pool that would have made your pool higher if they didn't even get access to it.
Yeah.
Granted, you're getting 50% of it, but I don't know. I was just kind of thinking through, like, what would my attitude be if I was trying to be as monopolistic as possible?
Yeah.
The only way I could see it is if they're trying to block their magical plots. if they're trying to get the title for research, and for some reason, in their region, I can't remember if it's by region that you can get the title, the prefix title, but if it
by
is
territory, but yeah.
okay. But if it is, then maybe they might block off the magical plots to try to block that off. But that's all I could think of it, because the taxes plus the percent breakdown from surfing would be too hard to pass up, I would think.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
You want the maximum productivities that you can tax, and you don't want to just tie it up with the bare minimum, because then you're giving up on that productivity.
Yep. All right, so Aaron B's got a castle. Looks like New Age is only going to get about 20% of utilization as well. What's up, Jedi Elf? What's up, People's Guild?
What
Good to
up?
see you here.
All
right.
On New Ages that he has 20 Rooney too with that 20%.
Did he say he's 20 Rooney? What? No, I missed that.
Yeah.
I went through my assets and I'll be able to populate 20% of my land, even after having 20 Rooney.
Jeez.
Oh, dude, you're gonna be
pockets. That's a whale. That's a Rooney whale.
Hey man.
He's more Rooney than Matt does.
Well, you know what, New Age, thanks for the upvotes on Hive. You're definitely a Hive whale too. That helps a lot. But man, I think you're gonna be very happy in hopefully less than a year with your bag of Rooney, your gang of Rooney.
Yeah.
Okay, so Virus, do you want to jump into yours next? I think I'm done for mine. Or if anything, I've realized that I need to actually go back and run the numbers again and not just think about collection power, which is totally off.
Yeah, I can go through mine. I don't know if you want to bring that up, but
oh yeah, let me go ahead and pop yours in, and I'm actually gonna remove mine completely.
Yeah, the first thing I did was I kind of was taking inventory of just cards I have. Previously I had bought up the rewards cards when they were going out of print, and the original rewards cards, not the soulbound one, or even the phase 2 of the CL rewards cards.
Mm-hmm.
So I was holding on to a lot of those, had a lot of gold foils, and I haven't really sold off my gold foils that I just opened from packs. So I had a lot of gold foil commons from opening packs. So I just kind of took stock of, for each splinter, which cards do I have and which ones can make up a max card to stake. So I wrote, I have 58 BCX of Bloodmaker, which makes up one max copy, which give me 2,000 PP for fire if I want to use them.
Okay.
So I just kind of went through each of the different splinters and did that. Then I have plots that are kind of all different types. So I have plots that are forest, river, plains, jungle, swamp, and the last 2 I got was a Badlands and I think another river. But I was going through and kind of laying out what's their are they magical occupied? What's their common rarity? If I have 4 totems, just common totems, so I just want to figure out which ones to use them for, title, Rooney, and all that. So my focus is on the occupied and the magical plots. Those are the ones where I kind of want to put the most PP into. Specifically the occupied plots, but still after that would be the magical plots. My goal is to try to make it so that it's self-sufficient, but I still want to, get as much into the occupied as I can to get that for that 100% SPS bonus. The only thing is that if I throw my biggest cards into these occupied plots, the final cost of the grain per hour used, let's say for this one, my base PP was 27,500. The total PP after the bonuses from Rooney, title, the train preferences, and the totem was 67,225.
Wow.
So
what BCX is that, Virus?
These are all max. So there's a max.
Max gold foil, yeah.
And the big one's the gold foil Jared Scar, which I'm going to be sad to not be playing with.
Oh, that's a good one to play with too.
And also Jen Bilchka too in there. So I have 2 max legendaries gold foils in here.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what pumps up that the PP so high, which just a base PP of 27,500 when you add in all the other bonuses of the train preference, the Rooney, especially the 100% from that, it bumps up the PP really big. And then on top of that, this is 100% bonus for SPS farming. So compared to one of the common plots, is the work it's going to do is double of what you would get with the common plot trying to get SPS. But with this base PP of 27,500, the grain I'm going to use per hour is 275 per hour. So to balance that out, I need to have corresponding other plots that do get the grain for that. So it's I'm going to have to balance some things out to say, use, for instance, 3 common plots. And so I'm at total grain that I'm netting is 160,000. I'm like 230 or 240,000 or 240 grain per hour, and these 3 common plots are not making up for my 1
Oh wow.
occupied that I just threw everything at.
So I got to tell you, Virus Man, like my big plan, and you're making me realize this was a terrible plan, is I was gonna just max out 100,000 total PP and call it a day and just walk away from it. But if I do that, even on 1 plot of land, I have to have the corresponding grain to feed those guys.
The thing is, if you get lazy, we thank you for your sacrifice because you'll be buying it from the store or buying it from others.
But what's the benefit of buying the grain, right? I mean, I'm trying to get grain, right? So how do I maximize my grain production?
If the thing is, if you don't care about grain and want to go either for SPS or the research tokens, then you can look at the grain as just a cost of doing business. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, eventually, if I can't get it balanced, I might have to take the Jared Scar instead, put it on the rare plot where he'll still get a bonus.
And you'll make more grain.
Yeah, I'll make more grain.
Yeah, there it is.
And same thing too with my soulbound cards. I'll be unlocking. I can, once I get those opened up, then I can maybe move those and balance things out where I throw that into one of the grain ones, and then I can move my max Jared Scar back up here.
Right. So your choice.
Go ahead.
Your choice ultimately is: do you want to put max PP? And if you do, you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay a premium for that.
Yeah, you have to have something else that can make up for that cost. Because I was saying before this, like, let's say that you're at a 500 grain deficit for the day, and that's per hour. So there's 500 grain per hour. That'd be, let's say at PEG, that's 50 cents an hour. You're at $12 a day worth of grain that you're paying per day just to be running, collecting on your plots. And if you don't pay that, then you can't collect what you've made.
That's insanity. Yeah, I grossly underestimated the impact of grain and just maxing out land plots.
I wanted to say, first of all, Virus, this is a fantastic spreadsheet. I'm probably going to create something similar just to you. But on top of that, can you imagine having 1,000 plots?
Oh,
no. I mean, I'm looking at your 10 to 12 plots here, and I'm just like, oh man, this is a lot to keep track of. Can you imagine people who got 1, 2 regions, 3 regions like Cryptomancer? Jeez.
Well, not only that, but they're going to have to look at their plots and they're going to see, oh, I have a legendary occupied, I've got a castle, I've got this and that. And they're not going to look at, oh, I've got an epic, and that's the one I really need to make grain on. It's not the fun thought to think about. Like, you want to get the SBS and the research tokens, but if you're not thinking about the grain, you're going to be paying the tax big.
Then I take it back. I mean, just from a laziness perspective, I'm sure a lot of them will want land surfing.
Yeah.
So Virus. So what's your focus, right? Is it going to be the SPS, or are you going to focus on grain as your primary money maker? And I put that in quotes.
My focus, because I got the 2 occupied plots, my focus is mainly SPS. I want to stay pretty balanced out with, I still want to get some research tokens, but basically just max out these 4, the occupied and the magical, especially the occupied, and then everything else goes for food or goes for grain. To try to make up for it.
And see, I think, because I don't have any occupied, right? Just based on this, my focus is going to be grain production, because there's going to be tons of people that are going to need grain. And to Aftersound's point, I want to be the guy that's selling to them.
I got the stuff. But here's the thing, Darkestnyte. I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen with it, but I just have a feeling that between now and August 31st, or whenever land comes out, they're gonna put out a post and be like, here's all the benefits you get for the Secret of Pretoria research tokens, and you're gonna be like, fuck grain, I don't want grain, let me go
Right.
these research
Well,
tokens.
I mean, I can
that's the
kind of
thing, right? You push the price, then the price of grain goes up.
Yeah.
So you can kind of figure out a little bit of what you might make from having what I put on my occupied plot. You can kind of figure out what you get from grain and what you'd be able to actually make potentially return wise from that. So with this plot, I have 67,225 pp. That is, if this was just working grain, that would be getting 0.02 grain per
PP.
pp.
Mhm.
So let's see. I'll pull up a calculator real quick.
Wait, sorry, I missed your, for magical plots, are you going for SPS as well?
No,
Oh, you're gonna do
I'm
research
saying-
tokens for that?
yeah, I'm into research token. I do want to stay a little bit balanced. Just get some research tokens and get
Yeah.
the rest for SPS. And the other thing too I'm doing is I'm going to be actually splitting my plots in half with my alt. So I'm putting 6 of my plots on my alt and six of my plots on my main. The couple
got it,
reasons
okay.
for that is that I have my Rooney already on my alt, so I don't want to pay the gas fee. The second thing is that I'll get a prefix for both of them
Yeah.
for having the 5 plots that I'm working.
I think you're gonna end up potentially regretting that long term though. Or sorry, I don't want to say regretting that, but you may end up switching them back over just because if you ever need to transport between two different, wouldn't there be a cost there? Isn't there a tax?
There's
So-
a tax to bring out to like Hive Engine to
Okay.
sell.
So I don't know what your alt is, but it's just like you have virus and then virus 2. If let's say your non-grain is on virus and then your grain is on virus 2, is there any kind of tax to send from one account to the other?
Well, I got lucky with pretty much an even split of everything. So I have one occupied to put on each. I have one magical to put on
so
each, and then I can split
So
up.
it'll just be two different businesses.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, got it.
I got a problem. So this is mind blowing right now because my challenge is I have been assuming that I have enough gold foil legendaries to just pop it on land. Like, I got 2 million collection power. I'll do it that way. But the problem is I'm using my gold foil legendaries to play competitively because of the bonus that I get there when I win a match. So I can take those gold foil legendaries, which many of them are duplicate of regular maxed out foils, but now I give up the bonus that I'm getting in competition for land.
That's where it's a tough call, especially with modern right now.
Call.
Modern, the prizes are so huge per match that I don't know whether me missing out on having my Jared Scar, my Jim Bilchka, having my Pelcor Conjure, being able to play. I play that quite often, enough to get a bonus from it. That if I'm not playing those cards in matches, how much am I losing out per day in all the matches I play?
How much is a Pelcor Conjure?
Right? Yeah.
Gold foil Pelcor Conjure. I'm curious. Hold on, I want to see. Not because, well, I mean, virus. You should just go and buy another one. But still, I'm curious to see how much.
Another 5, right?
Yeah, then I'm gonna throw them in other plots. Because I need food.
The thing is, there's like certain cards that I use all the time. Pelcor Conjure is like one of them. So I would feel that loss from a gold perspective.
Yep.
Oh, dude, it's 50 cents.
For maxed out gold?
No. For
38.
single BCX. So 38 BCX, it's $19. Which I know that's like
It's a lot.
a couple meals outside, but
Well, sacrifice, man.
yeah, don't eat.
Ramen noodles.
The other thing too I have a lot of loose BCX of different things. Like I have 15 BCX of gold foil irradiated scorchers. So once land comes around and people start wanting to buy all these cards, and I think they're already buying them up. There's some people now that I think the gold foils are pretty much dried up, but there's gonna be another rush I think when land does come out, or even that week before. So then I can start maybe selling off my gold foils of the things I don't particularly get a bonus for.
Yeah.
and then switch it over to, go and buy the ones that I do get a bonus for.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tails.
I just saw that. Tails, what would we do without you? That's such a good point.
We absolutely.
Hold on, let me pull up the comments so that people can see it.
Yeah.
But we haven't discussed clearing plots.
Yep, I have a column for that.
Do you have time crystals for everything?
No
Oh.
way. I wish. I haven't really. I think there's. I don't think you can sell them on Hive Engine, can you?
No, you can't. You can't yet. We can transfer them because I think I sent them to everybody. I just haven't sent grain out from the group buys.
So
and we're not going to either. No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, what? Did I miss the memo here?
What grain? Yeah, we use that grain.
Yeah, so
I'm hungry.
My occupied plots are 9 million PP to clear.
Oh shoot!
And not only that, but so if I was to, I'm trying to remember how much the time crystals pay for.
9 million, and you're doing 67 per day.
I'm doing 67,000 per day.
We are not ready. We are completely.
Oh wow, that would take a while.
So time crystals give 10,000 PP towards production or towards this.
Each one, right? Each one.
Each one, and I've got between mine and I just got some more today.
Well, how'd you get more?
Someone was selling out and they didn't know what to do with the time crystals. So
they just sent them. Okay.
So I've got 1,650 time crystals, which
10,000 was that 1.6 or 16 million or something like that.
Yeah, so I've got 16,500,000 that I can clear. And again, you don't want to, as much as I would like to jump in and clear, my occupied, get a bunch of work towards the other occupied, I need grain. I might be first clearing the occupied and then clearing the rare, just so I can get some grain production. So I might be able to get on 2 of these and then start on probably my other rare one to get some more food production before I get into my second occupied.
If I remember correctly, castles and keeps don't need to be cleared, right?
Yeah, they don't have to be cleared.
Okay, cool. Well, then I have an extra 10,000 time crystals. I'll send you, Virus. This is what I'm talking about. I need to get my people up and running.
And they're going to be selling them. And I think Nate had put a post in land chat or land channel that he's expecting that time crystals would be coming with 1.5 to sell.
Oh,
so
okay, that makes sense.
I think it's 100 DEC per.
So another DEC,
like 10 cents.
Great.
Yeah. But there's some people out there that are going to need the DEC too. So if you know that you're in a situation where you're going to want to try to clear your plots early, getting in that buy sell channel and saying I want to buy time crystals might be a good idea in the beginning because I got mine today at 70 DEC per, just because I was trying to sell them. So you might be able to work out a deal to get them a little bit cheaper now in the buy and sell because people need DEC just to stake on their plots.
Oh, and this is going to burn DEC. It's not even company revenue.
It's going to be pandemonium.
Yep.
Just based on what you're doing, Virus. I mean, it is very clear. Grain is going to be an issue. Time crystals are going to be an issue. Monsters are going to be an issue. Right, and maximizing that productivity. Like again, I've thought about this very simply. Right, just throw some creatures out, and then profit. Right.
We were so busy asking the question when land that we never really got around to the question how are we going to do land?
Yeah. Step 1, get land. Step 2, some stuff. And then step 3, profit, right?
It's like
and
land, deliver,
part,
and then
right?
I'm gonna go buy everything off the market that I need to, and then realize that it's not there anymore.
Yes, or it's gonna be too expensive.
Yeah.
And then, this is 1.5, but once you get to the next to 2.0, and there's the 50 different things in there, and now I'm gonna want to try to work some other things with these plots. How am I gonna get grain at that point? I think there's a couple that will focus on grain. I think it's plains or something like that gives a bonus
Plains
to
and
grain
hills.
production.
I think if I remember from that list, it was hills and plains.
Yeah, but for the most part, I probably won't even be switching to work any other things. I'll be just working the same thing I have because I need all the grain from all the other plots to get it.
So making an arrangement with somebody to get grain, right,
Yeah,
in
that's
your
true.
territory is going to be a thing, right?
Yeah.
There may be clearinghouses, so you know, yeah, that's
Oh,
going to be difficult.
what do you mean? Just like P2P grain
Yeah.
sales?
Yep.
Because the market, if you go through the market, that's going to be 10% tax every single time.
Exactly.
So it's beneficial both sides.
Yep. Yep.
Shoot, I'll be your
It's
grain
a
dealer.
cooperative, right? I mean, that's literally what it is. It's cooperative. Hey,
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
in, in our, we're gonna work this out and maybe make a.
But see, I think that's where the value can come in if you're like a high producer in one of your regions or tracks, right? Because everything is going to be region focused. So as long as you stay within your region, you should be fine, right? So at the end of the day, like Darkestnyte for you and I don't know if you know a lot of the people in your tract, but it'd be
I've
a
gotten
good,
to know them.
huh?
I've gotten to know them.
You've gotten to know them. All right. I mean, that'll be a good thing where it's just like you could probably sell them stuff for cheaper than the market so that you guys both come out okay.
So here's the reality, right? As I'm looking at your spreadsheet, specialization is going to be a thing, right? Some people
Which is what Matt has said from the beginning.
Yeah, some people are just going to specialize in grain, and that's it, right? They're just that's going to be their thing. Other people are going to specialize in, research. Other people are going to specialize in SPS, and that's just how it's going to go.
Yeah.
Because diversification, that's a lot of work. That's going to be a lot of work.
I mean, just imagine what this is going to look like for 2.0. Virus has 6 different land types. That's 6 different resources in the future.
Just imagine the spreadsheets I'll need to figure that all out,
Yep.
You have
But
to juggle
again,
all of that.
it's more than likely you're not going to generate those resources yourself. You're going to buy them from someone else, and you may use, for example, grain to get you the money you need, or whatever currency it is, to get you the currency to buy the things that you need from someone that's also specialized on ore and steel and all those things.
And what they had said too is that there's going to be buildings, so you'll get, because right now I need all of this for grain, and I just thought of one thing that they had said too is that they'll have buildings that would be like a grain mill that can refine your grain and make it more potent, so it could feed a lot higher, amount of PP than it does at base. So, my plains is going to have the building for the grain mill, but to build that I'll need wood, and I'll need stone, and I'll need whatever else you might need to build that. But Tails does bring up another good point too, is that at the same time, when everyone starts building all of those different resources, that SPS that's given out is still the same as it was. It's not going to go down. I'll still get reward, like even less people will be working for SPS and trying to get the other resources. And that SPS, if I am working SPS, I'll be getting even more of a lion's share of what's in that pool.
And you're helping and you're developing the land, right? So the land we're seeing right now is probably the lowest price it's ever going to be, because again, I can't see land going for $45 a plot after a year or so of development, right? And putting buildings on it. It might be 10 times that.
Yep. And the time it takes to
time investment
too.
But, yeah. But to Tails' point, like, I mean, he's saying Land 2.0 is going to be the real game changer. I think we see a significant amount of that. Not to take away from his point, but I think we'll see a significant amount of that in the early stages of Land 1.5, which is why I think there's going to be a massive rush, right? That will slowly like go down over time. But the land, SPS for land is being given out between like 120,000 plots right now. I think there's like 10,000 unclaimed, 10,000 unsurveyed and another like 15,000 unclaimed, right? So if we're saying that there's only gonna be 20% utilization, well, all of a sudden we're gonna be going from giving out SPS to 120,000 plots to 30,000 plots. And then those 30,000 plots are gonna be divided even further between who's going for grain, who's going for SPS, and who's going for research or Pretoria tokens, right? And even just a simple 33 split would be 10,000 plots. Getting
like
the SPS.
Like you're seeing here, my somewhat a 15 to 20% split on how many plots I'm using to work SPS. So everything else is going to grain or research. So if it's only 15 to 20% of the plots that are going for SPS, then it's a very tiny amount of, or small amount of people that are drawing from that SPS pool.
Yeah, I think my prediction on this is going to be, because it's going to be a race to productivity, right? Time crystals are going to be the thing that people are going to go crazy.
Yep.
Like right out of the gate, it'll taper off after a while, right? Once everybody gets their productivity going. But that first month, it's going to look like the first month, right? Based on the numbers you have. Yeah, the first month, you want to cut that down to 2 weeks if you can. A week.
Well, it tapers off till buildings come in.
Right.
And then you want to get all your buildings built. So,
there you go. So it's always going to be time crystals.
Yep.
And the best part is anytime somebody uses time crystals or buys time crystals, they're burning DEC and therefore burning SPS at some point.
Yeah. I'm so not ready. And I only have 20 plots.
Only 20 plots.
Well, I mean, think about that, right? There's so much to do.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time. I only have 3 plots and I'm unprepared, dude.
I'm scared, man. I'm scared.
All right, Virus, do you have anything else you want to go through? I mean, this was actually super helpful. I appreciate you sharing your spreadsheet with us.
I'm not sharing mine because I'm not ready. Yeah, I'm just.
Show us what you have.
Okay, fine.
Just a little bit.
All right.
Sorry, Virus. Are you good?
Yeah. The one thing I'd say too is that so I did start to get to a point where I was putting dragon in where I do not get the terrain preference.
Gotcha.
It's especially with my non-gold foil cards, gold foil. It's a 10% boost to get the terrain preference. So once you're just putting non-gold foil cards on here, that's only 100 more PP for a 1,000 PP card.
Yeah,
it's not quite as big as Jared Scar's
gold
foil 10,000. Being in here, it's a huge boost for him to be in a plot that gets a terrain preference because it's a lot more. But once you get down to just your plots, you're just throwing whatever you can get in there. It's not as big of a deal.
So your Jin Chihuahua, you have a bunch of those, right? So that looks like that's something you bought. Was that anticipation of land that you bought?
No, I bought that. I mean, between that and back in the day, Jin Chihuahua and Uraeus were like the big epic cards that you wanted to have. So when that was going out of print, or well, at least the rewards were stopping being given out, I figured I'd pick up a bunch of those and corner the market because there was way too many of them. But
yeah.
But
dude, I remember when Jin Chihuahua was selling for $5 a pop, man. That thing was insane.
Yeah, so like that and what is it? The other water one was selling for $5 a pop too, I think. The magic with shield.
Yeah.
Venari something.
Yeah, see my challenge was I thought I had enough gold foil legendaries maxed out. But the problem is I'm using them, right? And when they were cheap, I should have bought more. And I just thought I had more time. And now the price has skyrocketed.
I just wanna clip that as like the next like GIF from you. I thought I had more time. One land. I thought I had more time.
I mean, that's the reality, right? Does anyone disagree with that?
I mean, no, I won't. It's just funny. Sorry, it's not you. It's just a situation.
I thought I was going to put beta cards, like regular beta, like the dragons that I have, but I mean, really, it's the gold foil cards, man. That's the big deal right now.
I guess where I'm coming from is like the way that you're looking at this, your perspective now, it like perfectly encapsulates the entire community, myself included, right? It's just like we all just want this stuff, and then when it's here, we're like, oh shit, what do we do now? I'm not prepared.
I underestimated what we were going to be doing today, right? Until just now, right? I'm like,
until Virus showed up.
We'll talk about land.
With the books.
Pop. It'll be easy. Like no big deal. That is not the case at all.
Well, you were more prepared than I was. I sent you guys the link to join, and you guys sent me spreadsheets being like, "This is what we're discussing today." Full on quarterly reports.
I still underestimated it.
Well,
how long did it take you to do this, Virus?
It's kind of done over. I did it like over 3 days or so. I mean, I had worked in the initial thing I did was I wanted to get an inventory of my cards.
That's
Yeah.
the
I
biggest
wanted
part.
to see,
That's the
and
big part.
I want to know what I had between both my account and then my rental account too. So I went over there and I'd mark out which account it's in. And then the other thing too is that as I was putting them into plots in the first one, I was putting, so I put my gold foil legendary, my Jin O'Shanis, into a plot, and then I had to make sure that I had a
Replace.
11 BCX to replace it. So I'd mark that as a replace card.
See, but you have the same problem that I have, right? Because if you're replacing them with regular foil cards, and you're a competitive player, right? You're giving up the bonus from winning those matches.
Yeah, it's a lot of matches where I'm losing that 10%.
Yep.
Possibly. I mean, with the life one, that's sometimes multiple with the matches I have here. If I'm using both the Conjure and the Stitch Leech with Lux like I usually do, that's a big bonus, getting that 20% extra for that win.
And if you're using gold foil promo card, that's like, those are, so maybe there's going to be a run on those, right?
Yeah, that's, I mean, the promo cards.
Hey guys, give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
So the promo cards, they don't seem, I mean, there's nothing that really benefits land. And there's only, I think, one land type that's dragon. And neutral doesn't get any benefit for any land type. So for the most part,
Dr. Blight is not going to count, right? So
Yeah.
for that.
So I don't think a lot of people will be really, like, the promos you won't be taking them out of your play deck to put in here for the most part, unless there's one that is.
So my gold foil Waka is going to be more valuable on land then.
Well, we did find a use for is Zerial, since
She's 2. Yep.
Yeah, she you could put her in the life or death column, and so maybe she was worth her price. I didn't really realize they had that in mind when they were selling her.
If you have a gold Zerial, though, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
But I have a regular maxed out. But again, that's the point, right? So I think what I need to do is, one, identify, maxed out legendaries that are just not competitive.
Yeah.
And there are some, right? There are some.
If I had a larger collection of cards that, especially because, I mean, I like to play in Wild. If I was at this point wanting to play in Wild, and, I was able to give up some of the Wild cards that I don't use as much, then I can put those on land. But there is cards that maybe are in Untamed that you just don't use as much in every match. I mean, I'm using, so especially like the Sunkai Harvester, that was a nice one to be able to change that gold foil into a regular foil from what I had in my deck too, because I don't use it as much, but it still gives me 2,000 PP per slot there. And when you look at it's multiplicative. So for this, with a Rooney and a totem and a land preference and everything like that, 2,000 becomes a lot more in your total PP.
Yeah. Yeah, and what I find interesting, right, is so I see a lot of low value cards that you don't really typically use in combat, right? So the Harvester, like, no one ever uses Harvester, right? Scrapper, I see it sometimes. Vampire Bat, not as much as you would think, right?
Yep.
Pellicor Mercenary, right? It gets played some, but not. There are other options, right?
Yeah.
Crystal Smith, Jin Chihuahua, as you see, used quite a bit, and then Conjurers were cheap. I suspect that they're not going to be cheap much longer, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go through some. I'm just going to kind of scroll through. We'll try to catch after sound up on comments. I'm just going to scroll right down. So let's see what we got. Oh, Virus knocking the spreadsheets out of the park.
Oh, who was the spreadsheets guy? Was it? I can't remember his name. Was it something 2 spreadsheets? Was it Matt 2 spreadsheets Clark? Was that what it was?
I don't remember.
He had a show he would do, and he would just always bring up the spreadsheets. It was a while back.
But I mean, again, like we started this not as a joke, right? But I think I definitely underestimated the amount of effort this was going to take. Now I remember seeing in the some of the eye candy that there was an auto populate button. Did I see that right?
Yeah. They had said that they were trying to get that in there, but I can't imagine that it's going to do anything that you want it to do.
Yeah,
And if you,
I would agree with that.
I think that's gonna be helpful for maybe someone that's not actively playing. I mean, I can't imagine if it takes from your cards that you like to play, and you suddenly don't have that legendary that you wanted to play in it because it stuck it in one of the plots, and now you can't play it for 3 days.
Yeah.
That would be Neil McSpadden. Yeah, thanks. B Jangle said,
Yeah.
that's who it was. But yeah, that would be a pain. So they should have that auto feature working pretty good if you're going to use it.
Yeah. Let's see. Here's there we go. So maybe only higher rarity plots would be surfed initially, because I mean it's gonna. So imagine if you're coming in and surfing, right? I mean, you still have these same issues, right? But you're going to be able to cherry pick. But you know, if you're, they could limit what you could actually generate off that land for land surfing, right? Maybe it's only grain, right? Maybe you can't get SPS.
I mean, possibly, but I think that if only 20% of plots are worked and people need grain to the level that we're talking about, they're going to leave possibly magical and occupied plots unworked. So there's going to be some site, there's going to be some peak monsters that says, oh, here's occupied plot in region 117 area, 5, if this is open to work. And then there's probably going to be a list of how much PP is there, because all you got to do is put more PP than what the person has in there, knock them out and put yours in there. So I think there's gonna be a little bit of a battle for surfing.
Yeah, land wars.
Yep.
Yeah, land wars. So that's gonna be a thing now, right? So,
but at least in the region where I have most of my plots, if I have extra cards in here, especially once I get my soulbound cards unlocked, I might look around my region that I'm in and say, okay, where can I surf with these cards now? So that I can maybe free up some of these cards to put them into my better plots. I can free up that gold foil legendary stick in my occupied plot, because I can surf someone else's plot that's just hasn't worked it at all.
Yeah. So Bejangle, so this is a thing, right? So I have 4 Rooney, and so on my list I have Epic Hills, right? So that's going to be a primary place where I'm going to go and try to generate more grain, specifically because it's epic and it's a hills, right, that generates grain, and then to get that production with the Rooney. So I don't have that. So you have an interesting challenge, Virus, because you have occupied land, right? So that's a decision point that you have of whether you're going to take advantage of that or not, right? So you have to really diversify your holdings and production.
Yeah, I mean, and I may take that one that I have on the magical and just say that I can't boost it. I need to boost one of the rare plots, and just get a huge green payout from that one, and that can cover a lot of stuff that's already there.
Because right now you're just focusing on generating grain for your own consumption, right?
I want to be self-sufficient.
Right. But what if just grain just spikes, right? And then you decide it's more beneficial to just sell it.
Well,
and sacrifice everything else.
It can't go over 1 DEC a piece, but I think that's pretty high. That it would be 1 DEC a piece.
Yep.
So
that would still be a pretty significant return.
Yeah, it would be for sure.
Yeah, so that's the thing, right? Like you might say, hey, I don't want to get SPS because I can make a better benefit by selling the grain, at least at first.
That's the crazy thing with grain too. It's just like, we talk about SPS and it's being split up between just a fewer and fewer amount of plots that are able to go for it. But grain will be the same thing once Land 2.0 is out. Yeah. Everybody's still going to need grain, but now people will be going for wood, stone, or whatever's out there.
Yep.
Okay, so Tails had made a comment in the chat a little bit earlier about how if you were to take 10 times the earning per plot a day, I think it was in my context. Earnings
this one?
Yeah.
Oh, you got it.
So just what he's thinking about, which we don't know for sure how much SPS you can get from a plot, but let's say that it's 17 per day. If I'm getting 275 grain per day to work that per hour, and this is per hour, That's 27 cents an hour. That I would go over the value of 17 SPS per day by a long shot in grain.
That's per day per plot.
That's 17 SPS he's saying per plot, but this is grain per hour. I'm saying
wait, hold on, that's grain per hour, not grain per day.
It is grain used per. Sorry, it is grain used per hour. So if you have a plot that's generating, and this is used per hour, so that's 0.1 per base PP. But if I was generating 67,000 PP towards grain.
Wait, is that total PP per hour?
Yes.
Okay.
So that'd be 672 grain per hour minus the amount used, which would be 275. So you end up with close to 400 grain per hour that you're getting.
Yeah.
That smashes the value of SPS if grain's at a high cost.
Yeah.
Holy shit, yeah, I'd be getting 400 grain per hour. There's no way that it would be at 1 DEC.
No.
My guess is that it's probably going to max out at like a 10th of DEC, right?
10th, I would say a 10th, yeah.
Which is still
pretty good.
Stupidly high return, but and that's why people are going to be incentivized to farm their own grain or buy it off of others on the marketplace, because that 1 DEC is just going to be way too high.
Until it levels off, and who knows how long that's going to take.
Yeah. I'm actually this stream has made me very excited for the launch of land, and not like we've all been excited, but I think what's getting me pumped is just the simple fact that it's going to be a madhouse. It's going to be like a frenzy. Everybody's going to be trying to figure out what's what with their own individual. But we're all going to be doing it in a broader context. Like the economy is going to go crazy nuts, and there's going to be some weird opportunities all around.
Because we're going to be focused on things that are specific to us.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like everybody's situation is different.
Well, not only that, but if you want to jump on the opportunity, you have to pay to jump on it. So then all of a sudden you have to buy time crystals, and then you want to clear your. I found out that grain was so much better, so I want to clear out all my legendary plots to be able to work grain. So you want to clear them immediately instead of your occupied plot.
And think about the people that start an activity and say, they chase the green, right? The green candle. They say, can I stop it? Because I think it takes, if you stop an activity, it takes a day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you lose time there, right? And then you start all over from scratch with a new activity.
Well, and then the other thing too is that, so if you want to sell grain, I believe you have to, at least on Hive Engine, you have to pay a 15% tax on that, just to get it out.
That's why it's going to be important to know or sell in your own thing. But I mean, the other part of this too isn't each individual region going to have its own liquidity pool for grain?
I'm hoping that's in 1.5, that there's some way to be able to sell grain within your region.
Hold on. I thought there was.
So with keeps and castles, you get a percentage of all of these resources. So that's going to be a thing as well, right? We're going to have sources of these resources if you have any of those buildings. So castle owners are really going to be racking up.
Well, especially the castle and keep owners in regions or territories that are sporadic players. If you own your entire region and you can only work 20% of your plots, it's going to hurt for a long time.
Yeah.
So you can either get surfers or you can somehow get workers in there, but like the region that Aftersound has his keep in has a group of players that'll probably they're sporadic, and he knows at least I'll be playing my 10 plots in that area, or 12 plots. So he'll get some return from that. But if you're in an area where you think the players are going to work their land, those keeps are going to be a lot more valuable.
Yeah.
But if you're in a region where if someone owns a tract and sold their keep and may or may not work those plots in their tract, that keep could be worth very little.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that's if King's still here too, and he's looking for a keep, you might want to check out who owns the track that you're buying that keep from if you're looking for one.
So I mean, that's what Gank has been doing for the last couple of months, right? He's been soliciting to get people into his region pretty hardcore and doing those trades. I mean, that's how you got some of your land, right? So, and as far as I know, he's one of the few people that's doing that.
Here, I'm just going to take the screen for a second.
Yeah,
I want to show the market thing here that I'm reading from the white paper. So this hasn't been changed or revised with the revision history. So I'm assuming that it's still expected. But 1.5, it's going to be just a single trading pair for grain and DEC. It's not going to be individual for each region, but there will be a 10% fee, and that entire 10% is going to be paid out to liquidity providers. So there'll be a lot of people out there that are going to farm grain and just throw it into the LP, because there's going to be a hell of a lot of transactions, and that 10% fee is significantly high. And then actually, they put this here. One interesting note is that providing liquidity will be one of the only ways in game that players will be able to earn DEC tokens. Like, you can rent out your cards, but now you'll also be able to provide liquidity on that.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Decrops, man.
I mean, that's completely different, but yes, decrops, baby.
Woo.
Yeah.
What's that transportation and bridging? I hit that real quick because that has to do with it as well, right?
This is the 15% fee. Okay, so on transportation.
Grain, yep, there it is.
All right, so we'll require a 12.5% fee, which will be taken out of the total grain received by the recipient, and that grain will be burned. In phase 1.5, the transportation will happen instantly, but okay. So, if you want to transfer between one region and the other.
Yeah.
So Virus, you might actually be okay if a player owns a plot in a different region and they want to transfer grain. Well, it doesn't really say from player to player.
That says another player, but if it's to you, do you count as another player?
Well, but the thing is, his alt account would be another player.
Yeah.
But he's gonna set it. He has a way where he's gonna set it up. It's just it would be super annoying, but maybe also realistic if they did it in a way where it's just frustrating for you to have to send things back and forth because they tax it in a weird way.
Yeah.
It's interesting to have this white paper in the context of all the work that you're going to have to do to get everything ready.
Oh, no, here it is, right here. Or if they want to transfer grain to another player regardless of the region,
they have to use the transportation.
They must use the transportation. Okay, so Virus, yeah, that's just something to think about.
Yeah, if they're not balanced, if both accounts are not balanced and one needs one from the other, that'll be a problem. It's going to be balanced out. But
I mean, at the end of the day, I think you're going to get the benefits. Here's the thing. I'm telling you this. It's going to be a problem, but at the end of the day, I think the benefits, like you said, of the prefix titles on both, and if you're playing both accounts and are active on both accounts, like the card game, you're probably going to come out ahead.
Yeah.
It'll just take more management, more of your time and planning.
Yeah, the problem will be in 2.0 when I have to have storage buildings. That's when it'll become a problem, is if I have to have a storage building on both of them for the same thing and I have to duplicate effort for both things, and that's when it'll become a problem. And so then I might switch to putting everything into the one, paying up the gas fee and moving my Rooney to my main. But initially I think it's gonna be okay for it to do that 1.5.
But scientifically speaking, that is
I'm just so glad. Oh man, Virus, you want to hop on a conspiracy theory stream sometime?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's time.
That was fantastic.
Oh, best quote ever. I have to throw this out there. I love this quote.
Which one? Oh yeah, I saw that. Everyone has a plan until land actually comes out.
Yep. I'm really glad we're having this conversation. I have a lot to think about.
Indeed. Well, it's good to know that Virus was at least thinking about it. Thank you for sharing your,
Yeah,
your
man. Yeah,
insights.
and your spreadsheet is way. I'll show you mine real quick.
Let's jump into your stuff, and I mean,
Yeah.
you can use the spreadsheet
It's
as much
going to
as
be
you
like
want,
10
but-
seconds because it's definitely. Oh wait, where is my spreadsheet?
I mean, there's ones that are in the land chat in Discord. There's ones that are way more advanced than mine with macros that are running. They're filling out your
Oh, nice.
costs and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know that kind of a little bit. I just want something a little bit more basic that.
Yeah.
Just want to say real quick, New Age is giving a little PSA here. Peak Monsters lets you download your collection with plenty of information, including PP.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
for all the spreadsheet folks, that could be something
that's
of
awesome.
value. So thank you, New Age.
I think I'll do that. Yeah, so mine's pretty basic, right? So I have my plots listed out, what land type. It's not really relevant for now, but eventually it will. And then what the rarity is, right? So really for me, this plot right here, the epic hills, my keep, and really, I think I have a rare hills here, right? Those are going to be the first ones that I'm going to light up. And really, after Santa, I'll have 3 land lit up like you, the first 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Generate some grain, and then start to work my way out. But at first, it's going to be 4, right? Because I have 4 Rooney, really 3 Rooney extra. Pop those out there, get some grain.
That's so funny. So as valuable as Rooney is, you don't want to take it out of your gameplay?
No.
What about you, Virus?
I'm going to put 2 or.
Are you?
I did my thing wrong.
Are you
I
going
did
to
my
keep
sheet
one?
wrong. I only have 2. Yeah, I'm going to keep mine on my main.
Yeah, got to. Yeah, got to.
It's fun to play with. I don't know. I like it. Sorry, Darkestnyte.
Yeah, man, that's it,
I was
right?
just curious.
So I'll tell you honest. I thought I was just gonna go day 1, boom, 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 populate it all, say see you later, going back to play matches.
Mm-hmm.
But that's probably not gonna happen. And I thought I would populate it all with gold foil legendaries, right? But I don't
Well,
have to do
we actually need to go through your collection. Do you want to do that now a little bit and see like?
Yeah, let's do that.
If you want to bring it, like, because I know you and I wanted to go through your collection a while back just to see.
Yeah, but that's for a
Not
different
necessarily,
reason,
I
though, right?
Yeah. But I mean, we could just go through and see like
Oh,
what are
I can
the
claim
gold
some-
foil legendaries that you don't use often, for example.
Hold on one sec.
All right. While you're doing that, let me.
Hey, I get to claim some champion chest.
some rewards. Let's go.
Oh,
Iceflow says, I thought keeps were the marketplace LP. Maybe for the future, but not at the moment. Great tip, Virus. Ooh, Tails wants a prepper stream.
Oh, we're definitely.
Will depend on price of grain, DEC with market, but yes, grain can have very nice APR.
So these are all of the gold foil legendaries that I have, right? I use this one regularly.
What happened? No alpha beta? Or
Yeah, let's look at the. No, I have none for beta. I shouldn't have any for beta. Nope.
Oh, okay. So I thought, because you always mentioned like older cards that you were going to throw on.
Yeah, but those would be regular foil, right? So
But
here
but
are-
keep in mind, beta gets like a 5x multiplier.
does it?
Yeah.
I found that it was less, but those are regular, not gold.
Well, still, okay. So it gets a 5x multiplier, which
Right.
may not be as good as gold foil, but
So of these cards here, this is the only one I would probably use, right? Because I never use that when playing. Use all the time, use all the time, use all the time. That's only one. Use all the time, use all the time. Don't use that one, so I'd probably throw that one out there.
yeah.
That one out there. That doesn't get used. And I would just do that one just because it would look cool on land.
You know what's funny? It's like with kids when you tell them like, okay, you have to get rid of your toys and get new ones, and then
Yeah.
I don't want to. I use that one all the time. I swear.
And then I have one alpha.
I still think Archmage Artist is better to flex in battles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then I have only one alpha, which is Angel 5, which I use,
Yeah.
That would be a 10x multiplier, but
but not enough.
hold on, let's see how much PP would that give you? Let me see. Production points. Legendary 1500. That would give you 15,000.
So 50% more than a gold foil legendary
Yeah.
Chaos Legion card.
Yeah.
So-
but again, I use
What
that.
is what is the What's the value of that card versus a max gold foil legendary Chaos Legion card? I'm curious about.
Oh, if you were to just buy a max
Yeah.
gold
Yeah,
foil legendary?
200. So that's 200.
Probably about like $200.
Yeah, it's $240, $44.
Oh, really? That's it?
Yeah,
There's
price.
no way, because
Price
it's
is
like
up.
$50 for or $40 for a Chaos Legion valve. Wait, what? That's insane.
These prices have dropped, man.
So alpha legendaries right now are actually the go-to. That's what you should be going for, rather than the Chaos Legion gold foil.
I'm not buying a legendary alpha. That's not gonna happen.
No, I didn't say to buy a legendary alpha. I said to buy 4 of them so that you could max it out.
Yeah. Well, this one, well, that's not mine. So mine is maxed already.
I know. But I'm saying max. It's only $200. I know.
How
I'm
much?
saying only, but still.
Yeah.
How many BCX are max legendary alphas?
Oh, look at that. It's 8.
Hold on.
That's weird.
It's 8 BCX.
Yeah.
That's odd.
I never noticed that before.
Wait, so you can get an Angel of Light right now. Wait, why is it 8 BCX? Hold up.
Because it's alpha. I think maybe it changed in beta. Let's see. Hold on. Yeah, it changed in beta to 11.
That doesn't add up with the calculator that they have, which is weird.
That's funky.
It is. Because I'm looking at this now. 1 regular max BCX.
I'm
Yeah.
sure there are comments on that.
Oh, wait, no. But okay, hold on. That's actually better. Because then you need less of them. You don't need 11. You need
But
only
the
8.
calculator is based on BCX, not on level of card, right?
Sure. Yeah. Here's my
So-
question. Well, here we can go back. I'll give you back the screen. Or is this already your screen? Oh, this is. Looking at your other plots, though, the ones that are not in region,
Yeah.
based on information we've kind of like gone through today, what's your game plan with all those that are kind of like all
Sell
across
them.
the board?
I'm hoping that the prices will spike up, and I'll use them as trade fodder.
At the very least, I think you could work them, but just work everything for grain, and then just make sure that you're producing more than you're consuming, which should
But it's that
be difficult.
15% transfer fee, right? So that tax.
Well, it wouldn't be a 15%. Well, yes, there would be a 15% transfer fee, so that'd be significant. Or you could just sell it, but then you'd be paying a 10%.
Yeah.
But still, you'd be making way more.
I would. Right.
Like the PP production that you put into it, you'd be making at least a 2x, right?
Yeah.
In the amount of production, and then you're going to sell 10%. Like you'd still be coming away with something.
Yeah, and again, I would probably put basic cards on it, right? I have a lot of cards that are just low level commons and rares, right? And so I'll just throw them out there because I have the DEC, right? The DEC is ready to go, and I have enough to max out, put max level cards on it, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're the one saying that like land is going to be super valuable in the future. It just doesn't make sense to sell it unless, I don't know, like super spikes up.
Yeah, but that's what I'm hoping it will do, right? But again, because the land surfing is not going to be ready anytime soon, right? And I think
Probably 4 to 6 weeks.
Going to want to get involved, and I'm hoping that this all coincides with a bull market, a bull run. Where
Maybe land 2.0, but yeah.
Yep.
What's up, Jedi Elf? So local market grain prices. No, it's just going to be one pool, as Icy Flow has said. I think it's going to be at the regional level in the well, no, actually, that's not what it says. It says, let's see, internal market. It's just going to be there's things that you'll be able to do in the future to reduce the fee for your region. Future phases, the plan is that players within a region can contribute resources to improve infrastructure, to get cheaper taxes and better transportation options. But it doesn't say that there'd be multiple pools. It's just if you are trading and you're the recipient well, either you're the seller or the buyer. I'm not sure how that would work, but you could potentially get some kind of benefit where the tax on it wouldn't be as high.
Yeah. I mean, again, this is the right time to have this conversation, right? To look at what that's going to look like. I'm going to steal Virus's spreadsheet, by the way.
Well, People's Guild is asking for it too.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Does all the post links in chat or not? I don't know if they can actually see it after I post it there.
Oh no, you know what? I'm probably the only one that can do it. You want to just DM it to me?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so this is going to be like, again, because if you're having this planning type of conversation, you can start making good choices when it comes to picking up things on the market, right? And looking for deals. That's what this time right now needs to be.
Yep.
All right, there you guys go. Thank you, Virus, for sharing that.
Yeah. It would be a shame to let the opportunity that's coming up just slip by because you kind of underestimated the amount of work it was going to take. Well, that's how I feel right now, right?
Okay, so I was looking at this earlier. Granted, it's a little bit lower than this now, but there's 6.25 million SPS per month given out in the land pool. It's about 200,000 SPS dropped every day to land. Just imagine what the first couple of days or the first day or two could look like if you've gotten your plots cleared and other people haven't. Like there could be a couple of days there where people are getting like tens of thousands of SPS if it's just a few people, or they have the highest production, you know? Because look, sorry to, but like Virus, for example, he's going to go heavy on SPS, but he's also got to clear all of that magical stuff off of his plot, which begs the question, Virus. Should you just throw all of your PP right away on the land that you can clear the fastest and the cheapest, and go for that SPS right away, and then switch it out later? You'd waste 3 days, which sucks, but that's like a calculated risk that you could take to just be like, go balls to the wall on like a common plot when everybody else doesn't have it yet, you know?
Yeah.
Or buy grain too, right? You buy the grain at the one DEC price, right?
Yeah, there's
or time crystals, you mean?
No. I mean, grain still need grain, right? To produce.
Oh, well, you need grain or time crystals. But you want the time crystals because you want it to be done as quickly as possible. Right? Yeah.
If I went out and I bought the time crystals to clear both of my occupied plots and did nothing for grain, and just went out and bought grain, you know, is it worth it? I'm gonna get some huge payout in SPS for the first couple days at least. That'll make it worth it for me to even be able to reinvest back into the time crystals and go clear my grain plots.
That's exactly my question.
Yeah, 100 DEC for each time crystal, which gets you 10,000 PP. Decisions.
So here's the good news, right? We should have access to land on the MAV server.
Okay, I mean, I'm not going to hold you guys to this, but I almost feel like it'll be beneficial to do a round 2 of this when, MAV server is up and running.
Yep. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
But just okay, so we're talking about it theoretically and we're realizing how unprepared we are. Once we get past that point, hopefully, we'll actually need to figure out all the mechanical, the literal like logistical things you need to do in order to maximize stuff.
Because here's what I'm thinking, right? Like it could come down to hours in terms of getting in, setting your stuff up, time crystals, go. Because these are hourly calculations, right, Virus? Not daily calculations. Is that accurate?
True.
I would think so, especially with no, I'm sorry. Hold on. You collect your whatever you've farmed for the day at one single time.
Yeah.
And you harvest it that one time. I would assume it is ticking per hour because it's your grain is calculated, it's ticking per hour.
Yep.
So I would think so.
So that first harvest could be like something outrageous.
Yeah.
And maybe a couple of harvests after that, right? Until everybody else catches up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tails minus.
This sounds like a job for Tails, absolutely.
Due to the 1% month reduction. How is it? We haven't hit 24 months though. The land pool only started being given out in like December of last year, and I thought it was 1% of. I thought it was a relative 1%, so it just decreases by 1% of whatever the new total is every month. Is 1% of total supply or 1%? Yeah, that's what I thought it was current supply, not total supply.
Yeah.
People's Guild says round 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
round
I would
4.
love to do this again with when it goes live on the map server.
It's like I'd love to do this again when I actually know what I'm talking about and not
Yeah.
just being educated by virus.
Well, this is what we
No,
did last time.
I'm appreciative, dude.
No, I didn't mean that in a derogatory. I'm
Yeah.
saying virus is literally taking us to school today.
We had our surveying group, and that's what I was doing with in the map server for the surveying. Is I was always taking our region or area 51, so that I could see what would happen if when you survey and things like that, how the lands turned out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we're going to be seeing some things when we started actually seeing it in Mev. Like, oh, that's not how that works, or that's not that bonus doesn't really multiply that way like we thought it did, or something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they may tweak some of these things too, right? They may realize some of the same things we are, and is this working as intended? Don't know, right? Maybe they might make things a little less aggressive.
Well, I kept saying I was going to do this before the live stream, but I didn't. Did you guys want to go through the eye candy a little bit from the town hall?
Yeah,
because there were a couple of things in there that I think you had even brought up to me about, like the tax rate, which I said there's no way you can change the tax rate, but then I heard Gank and Walking Keys talking about that too. So.
Oh, speaking of which, those guys will be on tonight, and I think they have a special guest, Infidel, will be on their stream tonight. So they start at 10:30 Eastern.
Exciting times. 10:30 Eastern. Oh, okay. So as long as we're not cutting off.
Let's see if Tails gets banned from that one.
What happened between you and Gank, Tails? He seems to have it out for you now. All right, so you can. Oh, dude, this looks so complicated, but also awesome. So you got your power core, I'm assuming, your workers.
Title, artifact, yeah.
Rooney, title, artifact. Oh, what's artifact?
Totems. Yeah, totems.
Oh, totems, okay.
But it could be totems to start, and there may be things later on that act like totems that are different, right?
So this is, you add your power core, this is active power core. Okay. So Rooney. Oh, I can't zoom in here.
That artwork looks excellent, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so zoom in on that. Yeah, zoom in on that. Yeah, so scroll up.
I don't know how to scroll up. It just zooms in.
Yeah, so tax rate, right? So it says X's.
Why can't I zoom in?
You're almost there.
Yeah, I know, but then it keeps recentering itself.
The mouse is still jittery after that coffee this morning.
There we go, right there.
There you go. Okay. Dude, no, my trackpad is actually not working anymore, or the buttons on my trackpad are not working, so I've had to bring in an external mouse.
So what's that efficiency %?
Oh, here, the mouse is way better. Okay, so here, so this is the tax rate thing that I was talking about. I don't think you can change this though, Darkestnyte.
Okay, so they're just putting in a generic.
No. This is what it is. So when we go back to like the castles and keeps, this is our tax rate here. So based on how much production power you have, it's going to show you how much you can tax. So that's why I was saying
we can't control it. We control it via the how many production points we get.
So like the maximum you'll ever be able to get, right, diminishing returns is 50% with a keep. Yeah. So it's going to show you based on wherever your production is.
There we go. Okay.
How much how much you have in total. And therefore how much you're earning from all of. Oh, that's crazy, because it's going to aggregate everything across the tract or the region.
Yeah.
And show you how much you're earning per hour.
That's pretty good. That just for a administrative tool, that's awesome.
Dude, the back end calculations on this has got to be insane.
Yeah. Hey, tech modernization.
Mm-hmm.
But that's only on the keep, right? That's there, correct?
In castle, probably.
And
yeah,
castle.
keeping castle.
So just from an administrative tool, that's awesome.
Yeah, hold on, let's see here. So there you got your workers, your worker details. zoom in more. Got your BCX, base production. All right, this all seems actually relatively straightforward.
Yeah.
And looks very
So to Virus's point, right? Before going to someone else's region or tract, you'd ask the hey, show me your productivity from either the keep or the castle to see whether they were really good productive productive plots of land.
Mhm.
So
that artwork looked awesome. Excuse
me. A couple years from now, when Aftersound's wanting to become a real estate agent and sell his keep, he's gonna have to be showing receipts of, well, if you look at my returns for the last 2 years, I've got good workers that are working their plots out here.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I mean, even more so. I mean, it's a great neighborhood. There's a very low crime and lots of good people as part of the community here. So they pay their taxes on time.
Exactly.
But how much of your it is crazy to think about is how much of your value is tied up in what everyone else does.
I mean, isn't it 100% almost?
So your keep, because you had, let's say that you have people that you had a couple whales that were in there that really were, putting a lot of cards in their plots. Your keep is instantly worth X amount more because every single time that they, harvest, you're getting a cut. Yeah. Whereas someone else that is in an area with plots that are mainly just filled with commons and whatever else, then
or being land served with basics,
the plots or the keep's value is wildly different.
So you're gonna hope that this thing goes crazy though, right? So at some point during a bull run, right, that's just everyone, land is just gonna be crazy, and then it won't matter at that point, right? Everyone's gonna be aggressively playing.
Is there a way that we can see everybody here?
As far as what? Oh,
I want to see everyone in 51.3, for example.
So you saw all, and then you're gonna click on it. So go, not my plots. No, you're there. That's it. So then, why are you only showing part of it? That's only showing yours.
Yeah, it's not showing mine, but I thought there was a way that you could look at everybody's.
I thought.
Try to go to the map view.
No.
And then go to 51.
That's what I did, but right now.
And then now if you switch.
Now click it, the one in the middle, or the one to the right. To the right. Yeah, the list view. Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Oh, whoops. Okay. No, but see, it only shows me.
Total results. Click on owned and then click off. Oh, so you know what? Click Pretoria up top. Yeah, click that.
Very intuitive API.
Yeah. And then hit all. Hit all. Hit all. Yep, hit all. And then.
The thing is, I know that I've seen it before. I'm having trouble getting there because it's just showing mine.
That's weird.
What's going on, Keith?
It says 3 owned, and it's only hit reset. Just hit reset. Reset everything. Yeah, hit all that.
No, but it's not doing anything. What's weird is that if I go to owned, it shows that, but if I go to all, it should show everything.
It should be showing everything. Let me try.
Hold up. I'm just curious. If I go to another plot, no deeds found in this region. Okay, but I just want mine. Sorry, I don't want mine. I want everybody's. Keys is here. What's going on, Keys? You guys going live soon? We're not gonna cut into your time, so if you're going live, let me know. Yo, this Keys. With the all caps, love it.
It's weird. It's doing the same thing for me as well.
Yeah, it did the same thing for me.
That is odd.
I mean,
I remember we had this issue when we first were fiddling around with it. Man, I only have 1,350 time crystals. I need more.
It's not market. All right, if anybody knows, that will be awesome. It's doing the same to me, says Woody. I want to see around my track, but only showed my plots. Must be a bug. Oh, damn.
Hey, maybe they're doing some updates. That'll be nice.
Nah. No chance.
There's always a chance.
So if I go, hold on. If I go to the map view, this is 51.3, right? Yeah, these are mine. If I click on that, oh, I guess I can just click them individually, but I really like the list view. Yeah, this ain't gonna work. Henster, I guess I don't know, like Demon Hunter, I don't know who that is. These are all, oh, no, well, actually not. This looks familiar.
See, it keeps saying
Instrumental.
your plots, right? That's why you only see the 3. That
Yeah.
needs to be everything.
Instrumental, stacking. Okay, I know stacking. Virus, you're around here too. Oh, there's D Rambo. Lotnik. That's cool. Is he still in our guild, Lotnik? I think so, right?
Yes, I believe he is.
Oh, guildmate,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, he is.
Wilson's there. That's Marketable's Aaron Kennedy. I don't know who that is.
And
Where are
then
you,
Butter-
Virus? Aren't you close by?
Just to the east and south, I think, of you.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're,
Lotnik
oh,
is
Baby
still
Puppy.
there.
That's Wibble.
There we go.
I don't know who that is. Skybosh Cloud. V Metals. I don't know who that is, but they were part of the group survey. There you are, Virus. Got a good spot. Oh, are these all you?
I still think it was nuts that when we practiced with the Mav server to see where the keep was going to come up in
Yeah.
51.3, and it came up in the exact same spot, which happened to be Epperson spots.
Man, I'll take it.
Yeah, that
I
was.
don't know what else to say.
Here's the thing: you predicted that, right? You totally predicted that.
Well, he had gone through on the Mav server, but the thing is, you had done it like multiple times, right?
Yeah, I had done it, I think, 3 times.
So like I wasn't like reading. I was like, oh damn, there goes my RNG. Got
Mhm.
used up in the Mav server. Oh, there's DJ. So I don't know who Stargate is, but they were part of the group survey as well. DJ's got a lot of plots here. Max Payne. Mozzie, that's somebody new. Oh, Antioch is in the house. Let's go. I didn't know that he was here. Oh, I'm gonna shoot him a message. He must have bought a plot. Can I view? Oh, can I view like market activity for this plot? I want to see the history.
At least he locked it.
At least he locked it. He's a team member. We met him at I don't know if you met him at Splinterfest.
Hey, if you give me a contiguous line of land, I'll move my stuff there.
I mean, I wish that I could be, you know.
But you're close. I mean, you have it too.
You want me to be a dictator and just remove people from their land and give it to you?
Off your head. I want to be an oligarch.
There you go. No, you know what we should do? Just for fun, we should all buy like some plots in some unknown, unmarked lands at some point in the future.
Already did it.
Well, thanks for the invite.
Kind of sucks. So,
That's fair.
this was good, man. This was definitely good.
Agreed. We can wrap it up here. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're definitely gonna do round 2, right? So I have a lot of work to do, a lot of planning to do. So I only worked for 15 minutes on it. Virus had 3 days, so
You gotta catch up now. Yeah, I'm gonna. I mean that spreadsheet was helpful.
Yeah.
What I need to do first and foremost is just take all of the extra cards that are not being used in my alt accounts and send them over, because I've started that process, but unlocking takes a couple of days and sending them over, and then
You still have a rental account too?
Yeah, I mean it's the Aftersound 3 account, which again it was being used for Splex, and then I think I shut that off when they put in the market listing fee or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That just kind of and of course like the entire market tanked. So I ended up throwing an Archmage token in, but I never really went back and optimized like some of the cards that are being played there or not played, or even duplicates that could have been rented out in that time. So it's a little bit of a missed opportunity. So I need to go spend some time in that account.
So my last question for you, Virus. So again, just thinking this, I went into this thinking max out at 100,000 PP if I could, right? Just if I have the right cards for that.
Mhm.
But that doesn't necessarily sound like the initial best plan. Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I mean, especially after I've gone through this and seen how much it can cost and how I'm going to have trouble,
Yeah.
how much I'd have to pay to get the grain to support that.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit better to have just a balanced approach to, get the max out what you can, but then balance it out with the grain plots.
Yeah.
And one other thing I remember too, I was talking about splitting up the cards with my alt. I can unlock the soulbound on those alts too, and use them on the plots.
Do you have good soulbound cards there?
Yeah, it's I was running it in diamond, and I've moved it back to gold and I'm running it in modern. I'm playing it now in gold and modern now, but it's got a good amount of soulbound cards.
How many manual accounts are you playing right now in modern?
Just
the two. Okay.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. This is a lot to think about. But Virus, really appreciate you taking the time. Darkestnyte, thanks for hopping in.
Yeah.
Thanks for inviting me on.
Yeah. Well, if you guys are down, we can try to schedule time to do this. Hopefully, we'll have more information. Maybe even the MAV server, or maybe we may wait until the MAV server, to go live. But
that'll be my preference.
What's that?
That'll be your preference for sure.
Well, let's fingers crossed. My hope is that we see it in a couple of weeks. If not during next week's thing, then maybe in.
I've been checking every day.
My guess was the 22nd or 29th for the actual release.
Yeah.
But because they're probably going to give it at least a week to be in MAV, so if it's given out to MAV on the 8th or the 15th, then to be a week would be the 22nd or 29th.
Yeah. I think my theory was there's no way that Weirdbeard would agree to August if it was like August 29th. I think that he'd want to build in some. So my guess is that they're shooting for August 22nd, which would mean that hopefully it hits MAV by August 15th. So not next week, but the week after.
I've been checking every couple of hours on MAV. So if it happens,
just
you will get a phone call.
Okay, well, thank you.
In the morning.
I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen until they do like a general update.
No, you never know.
You never know. That's what I'm saying.
They might just push an update. All right, well, thank you, Sentinel, or what are you, Marshall Roomguard.
Yes.
Thank you for holding down the line. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this was helpful for you, as it was definitely for me.
Yeah.
But we'll be back hopefully with more land stuff coming very soon. I'll get you all around, and make sure you stick around, not here, but on the NFT Gaming and Collectibles channel for Walking Keys, Gank, and the one and only Infidel. All right, peace.
Later, guys.